Hey guys, so moving on from what last week's vlog and pretty much the not so fun time at the police station. Oh my god, was it not fun at all? And it was 3 days worth, and like all that, like just thinking about all the bad things and so forth. We're trying to move on again because this year was better than last year at the start, and then it went straight downhill like real quick, with 3 things just happening like one after the next after the next, the police station being like the worst thing ever. But moving on, hopefully like up, there is some news probably coming your way, but until it's actually set in stone, I'm not going to say what it is yet. There's a lot of different things I'm going to be working on. I want to work on a lot of different vlogs. I thought about some different things that I want to talk about, and I'm going to start talking about those soon enough. So you will get those soon enough. Yeah. But so far, actually, this week has been going a lot better than the last week. Actually, a lot better than the last week. First off, Monday, since we had the day off, I don't even know why we had the day off. I just said, oh, a day off, so cool, let's do a live or something. So I've been talking to somebody on my Instagram about lives, and there was a free live that was on Monday, so I thought, like, why not invite her to see if she wants to go and see the live with me, and she said yes. So we went to the live together, and she invited a friend. It was amazing. We had a fun time. Like, it had to be one of the funnest lives I went to in Japan. I've done this actually before, what I'll tell you about in the actual review, so I'll just save that for the review or whatever. But pretty much, like, it was really fun. I have a bucket list, and I acquire and make bucket lists as things come. Like when I came to Japan, I made a bucket list of things I really want to do in Japan, but before that I had a bucket list of dream jobs that I really want to do. So obviously that's hard. And then after starting YouTube, well, for me it's hard because I do want to be like a triple threat of singing, dancing, and acting. But anyway, hopefully that's in the works. Oh, quadruple threat? I want to model too. But anyway, back to that. And then after starting YouTube, I also made things that I really want to accomplish being on YouTube. Obviously getting a certain amount of subscribers, because then I feel like, wow, we're doing it. But actually right now, because of the community that I have and just how supportive everybody is, like, I'm really content. Obviously I've been content for a long time. Actually, the person that I met a lot has been watching me since I started years ago, and I actually took a break too. So she remembers, like, when I did vocal covers and stuff like that, which a lot of you guys probably haven't seen if you're new to my channel. But I had a lot of different vocal covers that I did back when I first started YouTube. And then I actually started this because of Charlotte, obviously, which we're going to get into. Actually, a Charlotte story vlog coming out soon enough, because obviously she is leaving me. Leaving me behind in Japan. How could she? But anyway, that's going to be coming soon. So look forward to that. It's going to be like just meeting up and like a story about me and Charlotte. I think that would be quite amazing if you guys want to see that, about pretty much the start of me and Charlotte's friendship and so forth years ago. Obviously, like six years ago now. Yes, going to be 7 soon, my god. But anyway, yeah, moving on. I just developed those kind of like bucket list, and there's, obviously I want to travel the world, so there's that huge bucket list of just traveling the world and going to all these different countries. But then obviously as I go to different countries, it's gonna just develop a bucket list of what can I do in those different countries, So I'm hoping actually that with my YouTube, that in the future, I can just go to different countries and just show you guys you know, different places, talk about different things. From my point of view, obviously everybody's point of view is a lot different. You know, if somebody went to Paris or whatever, or somebody went to Egypt, it's still different from, you know, your personal experience to theirs, depending on how you say things, you know, and what you felt there was. And some things are left out between people. So I mean, 100,000 people could go to the same place, but then it doesn't mean that you're gonna have the same experience as everybody else. So that's what I really want to do with my YouTube. That's also another reason why it's not just Japan based. It's just me and what I like in vlogging about my daily life and about the adventures to come and so forth. You know, so if you can look out for a lot of that different stuff coming your way sometime in the future. Maybe there'll be some changes soon enough. We'll see. But yes. She actually has been watching my stuff from way back when. So yeah, it was actually pretty funny because when I would talk about stuff, she was like, yeah, I already know that. So it's funny, but then it's just like, oh, like I have no stories to say because you already know. But it was just amazing because like I've never met anybody. Okay, first of all, that was the first time I think I met somebody that watches my channel, especially that's watched it since the beginning, because that's, even though I technically have only been doing YouTube for about a year, I made like a few videos before I had to leave Japan for a short amount of time, and she's watched those too. So that was pretty amazing because those were years ago. So I'm like, yes. But yeah, I've technically been on YouTube for almost a year, like 10 months now, 9-10 months now. So yes, trying to get better at it, and hopefully there will be some new stuff coming your way, like I said. But yes, we went to live together. It was amazing. We had a fun time. We were actually going to go to another live together because we talked about it, and she had fun, I had fun. Her friend that came along also had fun. I'm not too sure if he's going to join us or not, but hopefully he does. If not, I'm still gonna have fun with her. So yeah, that's cool. Besides that, let's see what else happened this week. Oh, like right after the live, which is actually pretty funny. A lot of people, when they go to different places, they usually tell you like things you should not do, like things you should not do in Japan, you know, or something like that. But it's just so funny when people say like don't do things like that, and then you just go around that place and you're like, but people are doing it everywhere, you know. Or like when people say, oh, we don't do that in Japan, or oh, we don't do that in Korea, or we don't do that in America, and then you see people do it and then you're just like, I thought they said they didn't do it. You know, it's actually kind of different because it's just like trippy, like I swear they said they don't do it, and it's not just one person, but you see a lot of different people do it, and it's just like mind-boggling. It's like, if one person did it, it's like, okay, maybe it's a rare thing, but when more people do it, or when it's just something that's just crazy and somebody actually does it, and you're just like, what? You know, then, you know, it's just like, but pretty much, like, after the live, I got back on the train, I was headed home, I was just like so happy because the night was just amazing. I met cool people, that live was amazing, and then, you know, I pretty much met the vocalist, whatever, but beside the point, you know, it was an amazing night. I was just on such a high off of it because I was just like, yes, this is what I needed to turn last week around. And then on the train, there was this guy, and I was on this train for some time, you know, like 30 minutes I want to say, or something like that. But he was just making all sorts of phone calls. Now the one thing they tell you in Japan is please. I mean, like, if you're listening to what they're saying on the train, they say please don't talk, you know, and interrupt people on the train, you know, by talking on the phone or playing music too loud and stuff like that. They give you a long list of things don't do, you know, when you're on the train. And this guy was talking so loud on his phone. Obviously, people would hurry up and say like, oh, he must have been foreign. He was not foreign. He was actually Japanese, and not even young, because then people would go like, oh, he must have been young. He was actually not young. He had to be 40s, 50-ish. I don't even think this is the first time this has happened to me, because On the way there, there was actually another lady on the floor, on the floor, on the phone. She was talking, but not as loud as this guy. On the way back, this guy was like, just going hard, just like, he didn't care who was around. He was just like, talking away, and I was like, ooh. And I was listening to the conversation. I'm just like, ooh, like, what's going on? I was like, oh no, let me turn on my music. Like, what is going on here? And, you know, everybody in the train, they're looking at him, but obviously nobody is gonna say anything. The one thing Japanese people don't tend to do really is confrontation. So even if people know it's wrong, or even if they don't want somebody else to do it, they'll just leave it alone, and they'll just probably like side eye you, you know, like 20,000 times instead of actually saying something, you know, because they want to avoid confrontation, you know, at any cost. You know, so like, yeah, he was just like loud. I mean, like, I had to turn on like my earphones just to listen to music, and I could still hear him. And he was just laughing, and he's just going with all this stuff, oh my, and stuff like that. I'm just like, my God. And obviously, like, I'm standing across from him because I was just standing like near the door. I'm like, wow. I'm like, he's actually doing this. And then he finished. I'm like, oh, okay, we're good, you know. And then he dialed somebody else and got right back on the phone. And then everybody turned back like, what? And I was just like, dang. Like, he literally called like 3 people while we were on that train. Like, he was like, oh, this is boring. I need to talk to somebody. So he did. So it was just funny because you hear things. I mean, obviously, I've been in Japan. You hear the things on the train, like, don't do this, don't do that. And then it's actually being done. It's like, huh. You know, and that was like twice in one day. Granted, the lady way before him was not talking as loud as he was, and I've seen it also done before, but that was the first time I've seen it like where it was just like loud, and I was just like, oh, like, that's different, you know. Yeah, so But besides that, let's see, the only other thing that really happened this week that kind of caught me off guard was for me being an ALT, usually you don't do this, but in my, what would that be, BOE, Board of Education District, or whatever, we have to do monthly meetings. So we've been meeting up once a month for 12 months now, actually. Now, beforehand, we had this other, manager, or foreign manager, if you want to put it like that. There's a foreign manager, and then there's the actual manager who has to be Japanese, obviously. You know, that's just like right over him. But we have something like that. And the one that we had beforehand, he was actually pretty cool. Like, he didn't go to the monthly meetings. There was actually the trainer that we had that would run the monthly meetings. But like, when I talked to him, he was always pretty nice, you know, and he never really like did anything that offended me in any way or anybody else. I feel like he was just cool, but he wasn't present. But he'd send out his emails and stuff. He's present but not present. He wasn't at like a lot of stuff, but he probably was running like a whole lot of things that I don't know. So that could be why, you know, he's in charge of a whole city. You know, so not just like our district. So yeah, you know, but then we have the new one. So he left, he did something else. I don't even know if he left the company or if he moved up in the company. Nobody knows really, but a lot of people suspect like he left the company, obviously, because everybody leaves companies because they find something better, you know. So maybe he left the company, maybe he didn't. But like, even that, they sent us an email saying like he didn't, but I think somebody also messed up and said he did on an email. So it's just like, somebody's lying somewhere, but he probably left the company. But anyway, we got a new one, a new manager who he was something else, main teacher or something beforehand, and he became a boss or whatever. And he was like, okay. I was like, oh, he actually's gonna come to the meeting instead of the actual trainer. So I was like, okay, whatever, you know. But like, there was an incident that we had, when was this? Like in October, I want to say, where on our papers we fill out like our time of the day. So instead of actually like punching in for the day, we just put like the time that we work for the day, which is usually the same. Like if you work from like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. you just put that on your little sheet every day. And then at the end of the month, we just turn in the sheet. Granted, I guess you could well, not forge it, but you could just say like you did a time that you didn't do. But I guess obviously maybe the schools will tell your company. I don't know. It depends on the school, I guess, if they hate you, maybe, if they do, you know, or not, so forth. Like, there's a lot of variables. But we usually put that we have an hour lunch because we're supposed to take an hour lunch, supposedly. Never really get an hour lunch, like, at all. It's either like playing with the kids or eating with the kids, but it's not really a break because we're eating and then they're probably talking, ask questions, or trying to play with you and so forth. So it's never really a lunch break. But it was just funny because we went to this English camp, which we're like, supposedly, I guess we're like the only one doing English camps too, because everybody I know is like, I never done an English camp before. But I'm like, okay, whatever. But we did an English camp. That was our second one. The first one, the trainer was in charge of, so I was like, okay, whatever. And then the second one was supposed to be like kind of like the same thing as the first one, but a little bit different, you know. I was like, oh, okay, this would be cool, you know. But then the actual like manager came too. I was like, okay, whatever, you know. But like, it was just funny because I was like, I remember last time we put 60 minutes, but we really did not have 60 minutes. We literally had like 10 or 20 minutes or something like that. So everybody was talking about it, and I was too. So I was just like, it's actually weird because he's like, put 60 minutes, and everybody's like, why are we putting 60 minutes? We only had like 20 minutes, you know, or 30 minutes, something like that. And not even that, because we had to make sure that we played with the kids during different sections. So it didn't add up to like anything but like 20 to 30 minutes. So everybody was talking about it. I'm the only one that asked about it. I'm the only one that asked about it. Like, why do we put 60 minutes if we only had like a 30-minute lunch? Which we didn't for this one because the timing was so off. I think they only scheduled us for like 20 minutes. And I was like, that's kind of, you know, different, that I'm putting 60 minutes, but I'm not. Usually, like, you would get paid for that time if you're not actually getting that lunch, you know. So I asked about it, and so one of the Japanese workers, he was in sales, but I think he left the company too. So whatever, recently. So yeah, everybody's leaving. But anyway, he said, oh, he's actually very, very cool. I love talking to him. And he loved talking to me because I knew Japanese. So he's like, yes, I love when you're around. But anyway, beside the point, he went to go tell the main boss about it. Or, well, the foreign boss about it, not the main boss. And then, I guess, like, he said he wanted to talk to me. Now, everybody was talking about it. Granted, there's 3 black people. Majority is Filipino people from the Philippines. I think we have like 2 Asian people, but one's from America also, like me. And then the other one is from Canada. And then a few white people, but majority of our team is Filipino people. It's about like 20 of us, where we in our board of education or what district or whatever, same thing, I guess. But anyway, everybody's talking about it. The one girl, there's 2 girls from Jamaica, so it's like 3 black people pretty much, like I said, and those 2 are from Jamaica. I'm from America. One girl did not know anything about what was going on, and the other girl, she did, because we were talking about it too. But the girl knew nothing about anything. So after the what we ate, I guess he waited for the end of the day to like try to talk to us about it. But I was the one that asked about it, and everybody else, they kind of got scared. It's like, I'll just put 60 minutes, whatever. You know, after talking about it like so hard, everybody's like, I'll just put 60 minutes, whatever. I don't want to get in trouble. I was like, why would you have this whole conversation for like all day? Not even like a short conversation, all day talking about why we have to put 60 minutes and then give up so easily. I'm like, you just ask about it and they tell you why, you know? So I'm like, whatever, I'll just ask. I was like, but then I'd be wrong if they say like, oh, then we'll give you something for it, and everybody gets it because nobody wanted to say anything. Everybody got scared or whatever. I was like, anyway, but I was like, let me go. He called me out to talk about it at the end. But then he also called the other 2 black girls. Now it's funny because the other one, we were talking about it too, but I'm the only one that asked, because she said I'll just put 60 minutes too. I'm the only one that asked about it, and I was mainly talking to the Filipino people because they were sitting next to me, and even when the Japanese salesperson was talking to us about it, it was me, and then Filipino people. There's no black people next to me, no other black people next to me. But when he called us out, he said, I want to talk to Greg and then the two black girls, and then they were looking like, what? Like, one really was like, I don't understand what's going on, because she was not in the conversation like at all. So she was like, okay, and she came, and then the other girl was like, okay. And then me, I was like, okay, well, I have to talk to him about it. And then he was just like, I heard you guys were talking about putting the 60 minutes. And the one girl was looking out, the one that didn't know nothing, she was looking around like, what's going on? Because she didn't know anything, you know. And then the other girl was like, well, it's just kind of strange, you know, that you pointed out all three black people when the only one that asked the question, I was like, yeah, that was only me. Like, they weren't in it. And she was like, two, I wasn't even sitting next to Greg. Greg was talking with the other people before, you know, about it, not me, you know. And then she was like, and this girl doesn't even know what's going on. She was so lost. She was like, why am I here? You know, and she's like, what is this about a 60 minutes? Like, she was so lost. So she was like, it's just kind of strange that, you know, that you called out all the black people. Granted, I understand you called Greg because you were going to talk to Greg about it, and Greg wanted to ask you about it, but you called me, and she doesn't even know anything. And then, you know, he was like, are you calling me racist? And she's like, I'm not calling you racist. It's just weird that you pointed out all the black people, but like the main people talking about it was like me, because I am like the coolest person. No, I'm just kidding. But like everybody talks to me, like talks to me like all day. So like everybody was talking to me about it, but it was mainly me and the Filipino people talking about it, and the other girl that's Asian from America. So we were talking about it. The other girl from Jamaica, she like once or twice, I think she said something. The other girl said nothing at all. She didn't even know what we were talking about. She was didn't know anything about it. But you know, she was just saying like, it's just weird that you pointed out all three of us. And he's like, don't call me racist. He was like, I have black people in my family. She's like, whoa, what's going on? Like, I didn't say you're racist, and I mean, not like we know if he has black people in his family for real. I don't even know what he is. White? What's his name? Court? Maybe white? Just in case. But not or Spanish, white. But anyway, like, she was like, okay, well, I'm not saying you're racist, you know, but I'm just saying it's just weird that you called out all the black people, and like we weren't, like Greg, yes, and the Filipino people were talking about it, but like I barely said anything, and then the other girl doesn't even know why she's here. And like ever since that day, he really hated the other girl. You just knew it, because supposedly she called him racist, even though she didn't. But like he to this day he don't like her. But it was just funny that 2 weeks ago, I mean, last month's meeting, we talked about going to our new BOEs, and I'm gonna move further into Tokyo. That was my plan for this year until like everything happened. Now I'm just like, oof, like after all that stuff with the cops and so forth, you know. But like when I had the talk with him, he was just like, oh, okay, and I was just like, he was just like, so I guess like maybe somebody contact you later. I was like, I've already been contacted. They're already trying to find my placement and so forth. He's like, oh, you're already on it. I was like, yeah, so I'm pretty much good, you know. And that ended the conversation. And then come this month, I arrived at 2:01. Granted, we have to leave our schools early to come to a meeting, and I was driving there, and I was literally going up the elevator, and it clicked 2:01 when I entered, and then he said like, oh, you're late. But it's funny because I'm like, I don't understand how I'm really late when I'm leaving a school, which is still your job, to come here driving. Like, I'm like, okay, but then he's like, I need you to apologize to the class and to me for being late. I was like, hold up. I was like, wait, what? I was like, you're kidding me. People are late all the time, and nobody has ever like apologized in front of class about that. And so I was just like, not going to do that. I was like, no. I was like, and he's like, you have to. And like, much was, I just mumbled it under my breath and sat down. And he was like, I guess he was mad about it. So he was like, I need to talk to these people today, which was me, the other two black girls, again, and just some other people that had some stuff they wanted to talk to him about. And I was like, I already talked to him last week, so I should be done. And I was like, anyway, I went outside with him, and then he's just like, oh, it was very disrespectful for you to be late to the class. It was disrespectful to me, and I'm just like, I was like, honestly, like, this is what the day, sometime after the police incident. So I was like, honestly, it's just like, oh, this Tuesday, or past Tuesday. But I was like, honestly, it's just kind of messed up that everybody's been late, and then you've never made anybody apologize to the class. And I came from a school to come here, so technically, like, traffic, come on, you know, like, but just like, whatever, you know. And he's like, well, stuff happens in the background, and you don't know what happens in the background. People call me and let me know that they're gonna be late, and I'm like, you say they're late to the class, you just don't make them apologize. But I came in and you wanted me to apologize. I'm thinking all this, I'm like, let me not say anything, because I'm just trying to be good and just like be out of here or whatever, you know. And then after that he was like, and then I have some other news for you or whatever. He's like, but I'm gonna have to write you a warning for being late. I'm like, warning for being late? And he's like, I'm also gonna have to tell the other, like, your new manager about it, because I'm going further into Tokyo, so we get a different manager besides him now. I have a different BOE and so forth. And I'm just like, my God. Like, I was like, okay. And he's like, also, you've received some complaints about your schools or whatever. I'm like, complaints about my schools? And I'm thinking in my head, like, all my schools are trying to tell me not to leave. Like, I can understand if maybe they're putting bad stuff because they don't want me to leave or whatever, or maybe they're not at all. Because I was like, I don't know, it's just making me think. I was like, bad things. Now, while he's talking, I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm going through all the schools. I'm like, the last school I went to, like, my kids were like, you can't leave, and the teacher's like, no, we're gonna miss you and so forth. I'm like, it can't be that school. Then I was like, I had a problem with one school, but they already shut that down a long time ago, because they thought I was gonna leave, so they were like, the kids love you, so please don't leave and so forth. So I was like, it can't be them. And I'm like, I only got 3 other schools. One, they really like me, which is my middle school too, and I'm always talking to the teachers, you know, and I always ask their feedback. So I'm like, it can't be that school. And then, you know, I'm like, the other school, I'm totally cool with them. So I'm like, it can't be that one. So I'm like, is it that other school? Because, like, I used to talk to the principal a lot more, but then supposedly he kind of got mad at me or something because I didn't take into consideration his advice, which he asked my opinion. So I was like, why ask somebody's opinion and they get mad? So I was like, that happened a long time ago. And I said that it was hard to, like, mingle with, like, the teachers, like how it wasn't as I envisioned. I thought I was going to be able to mingle with the teachers more and talk about stuff, like lessons and so forth. But I couldn't, you know, at all, because they didn't try, you know, or whatever. But I was like, even when I said that to the old foreign manager, I was like, that was about all schools. It wasn't really about them, unless they thought it was just them. So I'm like, I'm going through my head of the school, and he's like, your schools gave you. So I'm like, if anything, I'm thinking one, but I was like, schools? I'm like, this seems kind of fake. Like, what's going on? Like, how did we go from one good week to, like, oh, okay, I guess you're set to go to, you know, to Tokyo or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, to, like, now it's like, I don't know if you'll be able to go to Tokyo, and quite frankly, I don't know if I want to keep you in my district because of your bad reviews. I'm like, can you tell me what bad reviews I got? Like, this seems like something like that I did that was, like, very bad or whatever. And he's like, oh no, it's probably something just small, like not talking loud enough, or, you know. like, I'm like, if you know that I'm getting bad reviews, why would you say, oh, it may be something like that? Would mean you know. And then you said like it's bad, but now you're saying it's something small. I'm like, what is going on? You know, like, is he trying to get rid of me? Like, I was like, what is going on? Is he trying to get rid of me because I didn't apologize to the class? I was like, or to not even the class, because nobody even cared. Obviously, we're all cool with each other. Like I said, everybody talks to me a lot on the side. But like, because I didn't apologize to him, like, what is going on? Like, this is just crazy. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But he said, but I really want to know about that police situation. He's like, no, that's between you and the police. But can you tell me? I'm like, I was like, whatever, I'll just tell him, because I was thinking about stuff anyway. I was like, I told him about it. He didn't even look like he was paying attention. I'm just like, this is just like a waste of my time. Like, you could see it in his face, he didn't really care. Like, if it didn't like affect me in a bad way, I guess maybe he didn't care about it. But if it went like that much more sour, then he would have been like, yes, like, I'm glad somebody did something to you. I don't know, I just feel like he just hates me now after all that, you know, even though I'm leaving soon anyway. So it's just like, why, you know, whatever. So I go home, and then I'm talking to obviously my friend about the other black girl. She's like, yeah, like, it's so funny because he told me the same thing, like, you have bad reviews from your schools. And she was like, schools? And he's like, yeah, schools. And she's telling me, like, it's just so funny because I only have one school. How's it gonna be schools? So I'm like, so is he just making up stuff to try to like get rid of us? Because of the incident with the cops, I was like, I think I just really want to go back to America because it just seems like a lot for me. Like, I don't want to go to a foreign country and get put in jail. Like, that just, I'm trying to avoid jail in period, and I go to a foreign country and get put in jail over a ticket, because that was going far. I was like, oh, no. I was like, maybe I should just go home, you know. I don't need that on my record or anything, you know. I really want to travel the world. I don't want to be like, what, a fugitive from Japan or something? What, then I can't go anywhere? Or imprisoned in Japan, I don't think I could probably go anywhere either. Or all countries would be like, oh, hell no, don't bring him. But, you know, like, I don't need that. But I'm like, after that, is he trying to tell me? Because I was like, he was like, oh, and I don't think you should stay. I don't think I want you here because of your bad reviews. But then the bad reviews were maybe you just like talking too low or something. And I'm thinking like, I don't talk low. Anyway, beside the point, I was like, it's something small, but then you don't want me in your district either. I was like, it seems like you're trying to get rid of me. Because I told the girl on the phone, like, I think I should probably just go home because it just seems like too much, you know. Like, are you trying to, because he's like, yeah, I heard you said you probably want to go home anyway. So I'm like, I was like, he really just doesn't like me. He's trying to force me out, but this is just weird. I'm just like, I mean, like, it didn't really affect me because that cop thing was already, like, bogus in like a lot, but like I was just like, I don't know, but you're coming at me, and I'm just like, I don't even know why. I thought we were like over that past drama. I talked to you in the office before. You're sharing all sorts of information about going on stuff. Granted, people can be fake or whatever, but I was just like, okay, just gonna leave it alone, because I already don't like giving people chances, because I feel like when you give people a chance, they're gonna do it again, and like you're already doing that right now. So I'm like, just gonna have to stay away from you. But I'm like, like, that live was amazing, and then I have to deal with that small thing from him because I'm not letting that get to me at all either, you know. But I'm just like, okay, just leave me alone. Like, I'll be out of your hair soon enough, you know. But anyway, my little long story, since I didn't tell you the information before, you know. But yeah, I had to put that into now for you to actually understand what was going on. But yeah, pretty much that was my week. It's still a lot better than last week, so I'm gonna run with it. And there's other stuff, like I said, that's in the background. There are gonna be some vlogs I'm coming out with, like I said, just talking about different things. So yeah, if you could join me for that, and you know, conversate. Let me know what you think about the things that I'm going to talk about soon enough. Obviously, watch my Charlotte's going away, I'm sad story that's coming soon enough. And yeah, how was your week? See you next time. Bye. Oh wow, you're still here. Oh wait, don't forget to check the description box below. I put a lot of different things in there, like my lovely friends, my social medias, just in case you want to catch up with me on Twitter or Instagram and so forth like that. So make sure to please check that out, okay? See you guys next time. Bye.